if you hadn't already noticed, I'm back from my vacation. We were in Hawaii for just over a week and a half for our Babymoon, which was really exciting. And I was gonna do a packing video, but then I was thinking, I've done like 1,000 packing videos and I wasn't like packing in any special different way or anything, so I thought maybe instead I would just talk about my personal Babymoon essentials and the products and items that really, you know, made my Babymoon more Babymoonish and also helped me stay comfortable and you know, have fun while I was away. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. And I'm gonna start off by kind of describing our trip a little. If you didn't see my vlog, I did post a vlog. I will throw a link up in there for you guys if you wanna see it. But we were in Maui for half the trip and then on the Big Island in Kona for the other half. And while we did a few outings in Maui, we really didn't do a lot of leaving the property when we were in Kona because of some weather issues, although we had beautiful weather where we were, so we were very fortunate about that. But we ended up spending a lot of time on property at both places, by the pool, at the beach, you know, in our room. We ended up, you know, really spending a lot of time on properties, and we really loved both of them. We stayed at the Four Seasons Maui and the Four Seasons Hualalai in Kona. So a lot of the things I'm showing you are for a kind of trip where you're, you know, the focus is on relaxing and being comfortable, kind of hanging out. So first of all, like I said, we spent a lot of time in the water and by the water outside. And so I knew that having some maternity swimwear was a must because really don't fit in maternity swimwear anymore, and I'm the kind of person who usually wears two pieces, wears a, you know, a bikini, but since I've been pregnant, I've just been wanting to cover my belly. Not that I'm ashamed of it or anything, I just kind of want to keep it protected. I didn't want sun to hit it because your skin is stretching a lot and it's very sensitive, and you're actually more prone to sun damage when you're pregnant. I might be making that up, but I thought I read that somewhere, that you just have to be a little extra careful, and your skin does tend to go through some changes while you're pregnant. So it's just good to be extra cautious. So I just wanted a couple of tankini swimsuits to, you know, cover my belly and keep it protected from the elements, most specifically the sun. So I had purchased two before I went. This top from Target, which I got on clearance, is by Liz Lange Maternity. And it's this sort of halter style top, and it's got kind of these built-in lightly padded cups. And then this one that I got from Destination Maternity, which is actually from the Pea in the Pod brand, which has the removable cups, which I usually remove, but I left them in because I actually found it added more support. And it's one of these racer back kind of styles with the ruching on the side. This one's really, really long too, so I can see how you could wear it if you're, you know, have a much bigger belly later down, you know, later on in pregnancy. And then I had one pair of bottoms. This from this I also got at Destination Maternity. Oh, it's been rubbed off. I think it's called, oh, actually, I think it's the same brand as, I think it's Motherhood Maternity bottoms. These are a medium. They look enormous. I realize that, and they are enormous. But there is something to be said for having full coverage, enormous bikini bottoms when you're pregnant. They didn't sag, they didn't drape, they covered everything. They're like the most full coverage bikini bottoms I've ever had. And they were very forgiving around the top, and that was the part I was worried about, like anything cutting into my belly to make me feel uncomfortable. So while these are a medium, which is my normal size, they are special maternity ones. You can tell because they're like enormous. But that ended up being really, really helpful for me, and these were very, very comfortable. I was in them every single day. I found they dried perfectly fine overnight. The tops took a little longer to dry, which is why I wanted two. But the bottoms worked out really, really great. Out of the two tankini tops, I really preferred this one. it was just a lot more comfortable. I found that while I'm very used to wearing halter style bikini tops with this sort of tie around the neck, I found this started to bother me. Even though I didn't have it too tight, I just had it, you know, enough so it could like hold up the suit. But for whatever reason, I felt like it was pressing into my neck uncomfortably, and it just made me a little more uncomfortable. Whereas with the Pea in the Pod one, I was really, really comfortable. Actually, we went on this hiking, like the 6-hour hiking waterfall adventure where we were swimming and hiking, and this was what I wore to that, and I was very comfortable in it the whole time. It is pretty low cut, but it's a bathing suit. I wish it had just like a tiny bit more, not that I'm like, you know, that concerned about cleavage and stuff. It just felt like it could have been a little higher, but the support was good, and that was what was important. And I spent all day in it, like I said, outside hiking and in and out of the water and hot and whatever, and it worked out great. So the swimsuits ended up working out great. Another thing that was really important to me to stay comfortable on my trip were Coverups. And the Coverups I have owned pre-pregnancy, while they fit me at the top, they're just like too short now with the belly. So I actually bought a couple specifically for this trip. This one, which says Beach Bump, I'm normally not a fan of clothing with writing on it, but it was really inexpensive. It was marked like 50% off from Motherhood Maternity, and it's this like UPF fabric, and it seemed really easy breezy to throw on. I really liked this. It was very light and easy to wear and easy to just throw on. The only thing I didn't like about it was how, I don't know if you guys can see, but the fabric goes up in the front, and any pregnant person knows that you need more fabric in the front to accommodate your growing belly. So for a hemline to look even, you want the hemline to be a little bit longer in the front when you are sporting a belly bump. I mean, that makes sense. And they just, I don't know why, it's a maternity cover-up. I don't know why they designed it that way, because it ended up being pretty gosh darn short in the front, whereas it was the perfect length on the side. So that kind of bothered me about that, but it ended up only being like $12 or $13, so I went with it. The cover-up I really enjoyed, that I wasn't even sure I was gonna like so much, because I found that I was getting pretty hot. I'm usually a kind of person who runs pretty cold, but since I've been pregnant and as I get further along, I find myself getting increasingly like quicker to get hot and to get overheated. I haven't been like hot all of the time, but we were in a very humid and hot place where they were experiencing even like more hot weather than they're used to there. I usually don't like cover-ups like this with sleeves because it gets me so hot, and I was worried about it, but knew I needed a second cover-up in case that one got wet and I couldn't wear it from day to day. So I bought this one from Motherhood as well, Motherhood Maternity, and this ended up being my favorite one. It's this actually really light gauzy material, which was breathable, and the sleeves were not hot at all. It was, it's, you know, it's kind of see-through, but it was, opaque enough that I felt comfortable like going to breakfast in it with just my swimsuit underneath. It wasn't like so see-through that it was like sheer, and the length was perfect. I don't know if you can see this hemline. Do you see how it slightly dips down in the middle? That's what you want with a dress or a cover-up, or even shirts are designed like that in maternity wear to accommodate the belly, because then it ends up looking straight at the bottom. So that was my beach wear that was really important to me, because I spent most of the time in those items. The other thing I did was I only brought sandals with me, sandals and sneakers. I wore sneakers on the plane, and I wore them when we went on our outings to the helicopter tour and to hiking and whatnot, and for walks and stuff. But any other time of day, I was in flip-flops. Just so much more comfortable than bringing like fancy strappy heels or something for me. I knew that I wanted to prioritize comfort, especially with my evening wear. I had brought my couple of cute maternity dresses that I hauled earlier in the summer for you guys. I'll link that for you if you want to see it, which ended up being great. They worked out great. They were breezy and easy to wear. But the shoes, having these kind of decorative flip-flops, they really look pretty nice on the foot. They look, you know, like decorative sandals, and the big flower kind of covers up the fact that it's actually a flip-flop. so comfortable. My feet stayed cool and I stayed comfortable. I didn't have to worry about balance or anything on the uneven terrain. You know, these resorts, they're kind of tropical outdoorsy, so there's grass and it's sand that you're walking through to get to restaurants and stuff. So that ended up being a really good thing for me to bring. And lastly, I mentioned my evening wear. It was just my little summer maternity dresses, but I also wanted outfits that I could throw on during the day that weren't hot, because the clothes I've been wearing most of the summer has been like capri pants and with like a top. And the thing with the maternity pants is they have that belly band that goes all the way up that adds an extra layer to your midsection, which is already pretty warm because you're cooking up a baby. So I wanted something a little bit breezier to throw on just casually when we wasn't in beach or pool wear. And I actually found this dress at Gap Maternity, and it's actually, I think they kind of marketed it as a cover up, but I used it as a dress. Like I wore it with a bra and underwear, and I wore this almost every day. I threw it on when we were like going down for a snack or whatever, heading out for a little walk or something. And it was just so nice and easy to wear and cool. Instead of like putting on the capri pants with the whole band and stuff, this really helped keep me cool and comfortable. And that was sort of the name of the game when it came to my clothing choices for the Babymoon. And I was really happy with what I brought. I actually brought those capri pants and several tops. I only ended up wearing those like one day, I think the day that we traveled between islands, because it was just too hot to wear that kind of thing, for me at least. I wanted to stay cool and comfortable. And actually, I kind of regretted not wearing that dress on the plane. I'm not the kind of person who would normally wear like sandals and a dress on an airplane, even though this airplane was a very short airplane ride. It was like only 30 minutes long and I totally could have. So going back to kind of poolside comfort and staying protected from the sun, Donna and I are definite shade people. I know it looks like I got a lot of color. I just tend to tan naturally because I have olive undertones. I wore 50 SPF every day, replied it many times a day. We sat in the shade. We were only outside when we were swimming, like in the sun, I mean, but we swam quite a bit. So one of the things I did when we were in the water, and because it was so hot, I was in the water a lot, even when I wasn't swimming, just with my books or whatever to stay cool. When I was just hanging out in the pool and not moving around a lot and I knew the sun would be kind of beating down on me, I wore my little hat. This actually got in a Pop Sugar must-have box sometime last summer, I think. And it is such a great hat. Of course, now I don't know the brand name. I will have to dig it up and I will have it linked for you guys in my coordinated blog post. This is my favorite travel hat. I actually brought this to Italy with me last year too, because you can fold it up like this in your bag and it arrives unscathed. You don't have to worry about it like getting crushed or anything because it's already kind of smushed up. And then you can open it up and it's a cute little hat, like easy breezy. And it's so easy to throw into your pool bag too because you can just kind of flatten it. It doesn't take up a lot of room. You don't have to carry it separate or anything. This kept my face and my neck out of the sun when I was in the water trying to stay cool, when I was just kind of hanging out. So that was like sun protection number one. And like I mentioned, I did use SPF 50 every day. I've made the gradual change over to mineral sunscreens from chemical sunscreens over the past couple of years. I changed to the face mineral sunscreen a couple of years ago because I was introduced to the Coola matte finish sunscreen, which just became my favorite. It wasn't like a conscious choice to go mineral over chemical. I just really like this. The name is worn off, but it's the Coola mineral sunscreen for your face. It applies really, really well. It doesn't feel like sticky or cloying, and it doesn't have an offensive scent, and it really is effective. So this is what I used on my face, and this year I decided to go like whole hog with the mineral sunscreen thing, and I got this one for my body, and it's by Think Sport, and it's SPF 50 plus. So it uses zinc oxide, non-nano zinc oxide. That's kind of an important thing to look for in mineral sunscreens. You want non-nano particles because then they will literally just sit on your skin and not absorb at all. You don't like want to absorb these things. This one is a combination of titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Very, very effective. I've been using this all summer when we were traveling earlier in the summer and when we were in Utah. And then I went through I basically went through the whole bottle in Hawaii, a 6-ounce bottle. So I applied this maybe 2 to 3 times a day while I was outside. And it kept me from getting burned. I never got burned. This is the nicest body mineral sunscreen I've tried. It really actually can rub in. It doesn't leave this white cast on you. It does if you don't work it in. But again, it's not actually like going into your skin because it's non-nano. It sits on top of the skin. And it actually has a rather pleasant smell. It's got almost like a very, very faint fruity smell almost, but it's not sweet and it's not overpowering. And it actually is water resistant. Like I could see it in the water. Of course, I always reapplied it after we got out of the water each time, as I would with any sunscreen. But it really, really works in the water as well. I did not get sunburned at all while we were there. So that was really important to me. In terms of other beauty items, moisturization, like keeping my skin moisturized, was really important to me with my stretching skin and just having drier skin in general since being pregnant. We were, like I said, in that very humid climate, and I thought before we went that maybe I wouldn't need to bring my whole arsenal of moisturizers, but then I was thinking, you know what, the water and the sun and the sunscreen, that's all gonna take moisture away from the body. So I knew that the humidity would kind of balance out and I'd still need all of my moisturizers, that's the word I'm looking for. So I've been on a Burt's Bees kick since I've been pregnant. I really like the Mama Bee line, the Nourishing Body Oil with vitamin E. I use this every night on my entire body basically, but concentrated on my belly and my breasts and like my backside and thighs and things that you worry about your skin stretching out as you're, growing a child. So this is nice because it's light. It's not really heavy. I really like the Mother's Special Blend Oil too. I've been using that a little bit as we've kind of gotten into fall a little bit here, but I knew I wanted to just bring this oil with me on the trip because it's lighter. It absorbs really, really well. It doesn't stain your clothing or your sheets or anything. And it's not like overly oily. If you know what I mean, it really just absorbs. So I used that on the trip every night, and then every day I would shower, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock. We would usually go in around 3 or 4 o'clock, kind of for a siesta and to get out of the really hot sun. And that's when I would shower and I'd put on my moisturizers. So I brought the belly butter, the Mama Bee belly butter from Burt's Bees with me. I still use this in those same areas, the belly, the breasts, the backside and the thigh area. It is a little, it's a butter, so it's thicker, but it's not so thick that it was like, made me really hot when I was there wearing it. And then I actually brought, and I went through a whole bottle of Burt's Bees Milk and Honey body lotion that I used on my extremities, so my arms, my legs, and like my upper back and stuff. This was a little bit thicker than I probably needed while we were there, but again, it didn't make me feel hot, and I just wanted to bring a lotion that like I was comfortable using, and it wasn't overly scented because I wasn't sure like what the bug situation was going to be like or anything like that. So those products ended up keeping me very comfortable, keeping my skin comfortable without feeling like cloying. So that worked out really well. In terms of other beauty products, I knew I didn't want to go like crazy with makeup and stuff. Usually I pack full kit of makeup when we travel, but I decided to just be really, really kind of light-handed with my makeup packing, and I just brought a few brushes and a mascara and a couple of like lip balms and an eyeshadow palette. Because I knew I was wanted to wear makeup on our anniversary. I wanted to look nice for John on our anniversary. So I just brought this teensy tiny little one from Smashbox. It's the full exposure palette. It's so cute. I've actually been using it even when we haven't been traveling as well. It's my favorite palette right now. And just like so easy breezy. It's got all the colors I would normally wear on my lids. So this kind of champagne-y color, kind of all over lid color, this sort of bronzy one in the outer corner, and this dark brown one to kind of accentuate the outer V. And then I use this light brown matte shade to blend, and then the creamy shade as a brow highlight slash blending color. And look how little it is. Doesn't take up any room in your suitcase, like super easy. It was the least amount of makeup I have traveled with in a long time, and it worked out perfectly for me. I ended up only putting makeup on maybe 2 or 3 times, so that was perfect. That was just like the perfect amount of products for me. Like I said, our Babymoon was about relaxing and just chilling. And to me, like spending time getting ready every night just wasn't something that interested me at this time. I love putting on makeup most of the time, but I just wanted to like just be. And again, with it being hot, I just wanted to make sure that I was staying cool and comfortable. And then also for beauty, my nail polish. I actually traveled with my own nail polish because I'm familiar with this brand and I'm familiar with the ingredients. It's got good ingredients in it. Spa Ritual polish. This is in Strawberry Fields Forever. I have this on my toes right now, and I had it on my fingernails for the entire trip. I painted my own nails while I was there. I did have my toenails done, but I brought my polish to have them do it. And that just made me feel more comfortable knowing the polish that I was, using was something I was, okay using. So the last of my Babymoon essentials are entertainment related. So I keep myself pretty busy when I'm home with my posting schedule and just, keeping up with my house and my family and my social life. So there's not a lot of time for extra reading. And I knew I wanted to take my downtime on my Babymoon to really focus on some baby gear and parenthood related books that I've been wanting to read. So I poured through the Baby Bargains by Denise and Alan Fields. They release this every year, updated version with current reviews of must-have and don't need kind of baby gear products. They give you a lot of information about what's useful, what's not, what people are saying about it. They rate things. You can see I went a little bit crazy with my sticky tabs, and I took a bunch of notes, and this actually really helped me feel like I have a really firm grasp on the things that I'd like to get before baby girl arrives and what really isn't necessary, because I really just didn't know that much going into it. So I'd highly recommend this book. So I was happy to have the time to go through that in great detail. And then the other baby-related book I read was Bringing Up Bebe, which was actually a recommendation. Actually, both of these were recommendations from you guys, so thank you so much, because I really enjoyed both of these books. And it's about one American mother discovering the wisdom of French parenting. I really enjoyed this book. I'm going to talk about this more in a future video. I think I'm going to do like a whole pregnancy, like the stuff I read during my pregnancy kind of review. But the parenting style that she describes in this book is basically the way, more or less, that I was raised, and I felt like I had a very, very happy and healthy childhood. And it's basically the way that I would consider, if I'm really thinking about it, raising my own children. Of course, everybody has lots of opinions on the proper way to raise children and what to do and what not to do, but everybody is different and every child is different, and you just kind of have to do what works for you and your family. But this was really, really reaffirming for me to read, because I felt like it really just confirmed what I already felt was my style and my heart. Not that I agree with 100% of everything in this book, but the basic principles made sense to me. So this is something I would recommend reading if you're looking for a different perspective on, raising children. And Dawn even read it too, and we both agree that it's pretty much our style. So I was happy to have the time to read those things, and I did read a fun read too. But to me, reading these pregnancy baby related books was a fun way for me to spend my downtime that I could finally really go over these books in the kind of detail that I wanted to. And then last but not least, kind of just like a fun little extra, is my Polaroid Zip printer. I recently got this, and I was so excited to take it to Hawaii and test it out. And it's the coolest thing. So basically, it works with Bluetooth. So I took pictures on my phone. My phone is now like my main still photography camera of choice, you know, because I just always have it. It's easy to carry. I usually have a vlogging camera with me. I could totally take pictures on that. It's even wireless compatible, but I prefer to take pictures on my iPhone because then I can text them immediately to my family or put them on social media or whatever. Well, the nice thing about the Polaroid Zip is it's very small. You can see this is my iPhone 6, and this is the Polaroid Zip, so it's very, very small, light, easy to travel with, and it prints out really nice quality pictures. So I actually don't usually travel with my planner when I'm going on vacation, but I wanted to play with this and kind of play with my planner in a more decorative fashion. Let me just take my little clips out so you can see the full spread I did last week, a decorative spread. So much fun. And I used my little Polaroid Zip printed out photos to decorate it. So I think this is a really cool thing to bring on trips with you if you want to have that like instant gratification of printing out your photos, either to give to people or to use in a, you know, in a planner, or even like a travel scrapbook or your like traveler's journal. Like if I wasn't traveling with my planner, I would have tucked these into my little what is this called? A Midori here. Like I could put little pictures in there like that. And just, I always bring this with me. This is my journal. So I think it's just a fun toy, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm actually going to be doing a more in-depth kind of review and overview of this next month. So stay tuned for that. But that was just kind of my fun extra to make the Babymoon a little bit more, you know, just to have instant scrapbooking. Basically, it was fun to be able to play with my planner in that fashion while I was there too, because I'm not usually an exclusively decorative planner person. I usually do more functional planning, but it was fun to play while I was taking some vacation time and basically scrap in my planner. And I can see using the Polaroid Zip and for just in my, you know, my regular spreads when I'm home, just for little fun decorative elements when I want to remember something, you know, special. You download this app on your phone, and you can, you know, use different collages and different sizes, and I don't know, it's just fun. So those were my Babymoon essentials. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'd love to hear what some of your Babymoon essentials are or would be if you care to share. And I will see you guys real soon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great, great day. Bye, you guys. Take care.